All right, who would like to
Uh,
recap us?
so let's see. We were back on Heshesh getting our kind of debriefing with on Ani and getting our new mission set up. Um, we were we had a pretty lengthy discussion with Ani about like, what got us into this in the first place, especially Christand with his sort of money, discovering the money business was kind of going funny. And the discussion was that like what we really need now is to like head to the seat of imperial power on Coruscant and try and track down the people. Basically, we're aiming to get information on like from the contractors who have been hired out to work on this project, trying basically to get some plans or schematics or any kind of details of that nature from those guys back on Coruscant. We had let's see, yeah, like I said, a nice long chat with Oni. Varlo kind of made her a bit upset with his not being super trusting necessarily. But they smoothed it out. It's fine. We had a couple days on planet before we had to leave. But we found out who through I believe it was through Troy's sort of force abilities. We found out the name of Mon Mothma, who is basically Ani's handler, who is supplying her with the money to make that it ends up in our hands. Yeah, so I believe we had headed. We have a number of contacts on Coruscant, between Varlo's sibling to a couple of contacts Ani gave us to. So there was, I believe, Troy knew a few people, and I can't. Did Christan have a contact on Coruscant as well? I think he did. I can't recall. But we got some cash
It
from
was
her.
something minor. It was like a technological contact for
Gotcha.
like some well, and he also had his the little special hacks,
Yeah,
the
we picked up a couple
the
of
VPN
basically data
cards. Yeah,
cards.
yeah,
Yeah, to sort of be able to covertly, use or to sort of clandestinely use the net at a couple of certain times. They're basically consumables.
yeah,
I believe you got three.
yeah. I've got
Um,
3 for big hack stuff. Minor things it won't be necessary,
yeah,
but with the
and we
exception of stuff that I would need to be at like a hard terminal,
yeah, and
I can burn one of those.
through some exceptionally good computer trickery, we had that false transponder to just basically output a random ship ID of the correct ship type whenever we get
Mm-hmm.
to this planet. As we were like, yep, give it, basically roll up a new ID um to tell what is the robot's name, the ship. I'm blanking on the robot's name. That's
Bartleby?
Troy.
Probably, yep.
Bartleby. It's like, all right, Bartleby, time for a new, ID, and it basically rolls up a new one. Um
And that
Through some
tech
very good hackery with Christand.
will one day sneak a shuttle onto Endor with that same hack. It's an old code, but it checks out.
Nice. I love it. Love it. But yeah, we that was where were we on Coruscant at the time we left, I believe. We had like just
Yeah, my
arrived.
recollection is you were just getting into Coruscant.
And
Yeah, and
I
we had
think we had
planned to get like
stopped
a
to an internet
speeder once we
cafe.
got there. Yeah, we had picked up also some like appropriate attire
Yeah,
to fit in amongst Coruscant high society, and we had also planned to purchase like a speeder, like an air speeder
yeah, that was next.
for travel while we're here.
Yeah, cool. So you guys, I can't remember if what the plan was in terms of settling in on Coruscant. Like, were you gonna have any kind of cover to your identities or to your story, or Are you guys just like gonna, rent a like little apartment sort of thing? Like, what are kind of the nuts and bolts approach to this? Obviously, Varlo, knows how to do all of that stuff, no problem. So it's mostly a question of like, what's your general approach gonna be here? Like, are you settling in for a long haul? Or are you just like in and out, or
I
Well, it's
think
Coruscant.
we're probably gonna have to settle in for at least a little while. Is my understanding.
but
Like,
tourism is enough of a for the
yeah,
for
how
the
much
big
is
planet.
tourism or like transient? How like people presumably come and go quite
Yep.
frequently
yeah.
here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. If you guys were just like yourselves and like checked into a long-term apartment or short-term apartment, like 1 or 2 month lease, like all of you are flying so far below the security radar, it wouldn't be a problem. But if you wanted to have any kind of cover identities or cover story or that sort of thing, let me know.
I'm trying to think if it's in Barlow's interest to. He's on leave right now from his normal
Right.
position,
Yep.
so they don't especially care where he goes, right? Like, would it be weird for him to just kind of plop down on Coruscant for a little while? Would that be weird from his superior standpoint?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Do you think you guys, Kristan, do you need any cover? Do you need a reason? Should we, or how easy would it be to just forge identities here? Or would that be like inviting problems?
No, that would be super easy. For Barlow's skill set, like that.
Okay. I
Like at
think
least
might
low
as
level, simple kinds of things, like not
yeah, like
any,
for like the apartment lease and
exactly,
stuff.
not like any passport level stuff, but simple.
Yeah, I think, I mean, at least for like any kind of like hard data records like that, I would probably say just he would probably just put in a fake name out of habit.
Yeah. Nice.
Well,
Like he
and
just never rents anything in his real name.
Right.
so what Chris Stand would do if the surface of the cover story is we're on a pretty long vacation, then then he can just disguise the rental through the name of a travel agency.
Yeah.
Sort of like when Years of Experience sends people to Disney, and
Right.
so it wouldn't necessarily be in there, or at least the transaction wouldn't be in the person's name because the travel agent booked it, and so the with the travel agent can come three fairly nondescript names that, as long as we don't fuck up shit at the apartment, then they're not even going to care enough to look into us. And if we get into some trouble where our names start being posted places, they won't even know to check. They'll post a probably post a notice outside our door without knowing that we're on the other side of it.
Also, as for the
Okay.
like
Sorry.
speeder, I'm thinking of something vaguely like this, just kind of probably at least a third seat since there's three of us, but
Cool.
something very kind of plain looking, not anything fancy, just kind of nondescript, just generic air speeder that we, wouldn't draw any eyes. Nothing like, bright red or flashy or
Yeah.
kind of ordinary, just run of the mill.
Just a Honda
You have a
Civic
seat.
speeder.
Yeah, like the equivalent of the like silver Honda Civic, or
Yeah.
yeah, just super generic.
Cool. I think we'll say you guys can get like long-term rentals for both the apartment and for the speeder, so you don't have to worry about like purchasing it or selling it or anything like that, and that's going to be a whole lot cheaper as well. So you guys get settled in on Coruscant, and now I can't remember how much detail Ani gave you, but basically the purpose at this point is to get in good with some of the construction contractors to hopefully get into their facilities and see what information they have.
Yeah.
So if that's either getting a job working for them, getting invited to come visit the facilities for some reason, you're generally trying to avoid any military entanglements. So I think that it's pretty obvious to you all, and I don't know if Ani articulated this, that someone in the Empire knows what this is and has the designs and like all that information, but it's probably someone really high up in the military hierarchy. And Christan, that monkeying around with the military systems is a really fast track to getting burned. So private sector is, the security systems are way lower level and a lot more easily manipulated, etc. Now the trick is that probably no one in the private sector like has all the pieces.
It'll be a part here and a part there, but they don't, and nobody has the full picture.
Right, exactly. But they might also know where the orders are coming from, which would make it a much more targeted hack to try to get it through military channels. So like eventually you're probably eventually going to have to get into the Imperial Navy and monkey with their records and information, but knowing exactly where to go is the trick here. If you can narrow it down to like a single, ideally a single office or a single individual officer or a base or something like that, that you could get on site, and that would allow Christan to hack in more easily than just like combing the Imperial network for this information. You know what I mean?
Cool. So do we already have the speeder? Are we riding around talking about this? So exactly. So Christan, for just to set the scene a little bit, Christan is like overstrapped in like a small child. He is not taking any chances.
Like a 5-point harness.
Yeah. Like
this is like an open top speeder that we're zooming around like unbelievable heights in reality. Like
he is in there.
Heights.
He is in there, and so he said, well, my experiences with work kind of things is that nobody looks at like third-party maintenance crews, and so I could forge us some work orders, and we could be a part of a crew that that's handling like the air duct system and the plumbing and the IT, and so once I get in, I can just unplug a few systems very stealthily. Well, or maybe not stealthily so much as just we can find a place where there's an access point, and it'll give me a reason to sit down at the terminal and figure some stuff out while somebody goes on lunch. That might take a little setting up, but I don't recall the face of a single person who came in work coveralls at work, and it happens every day, like every last day. I couldn't tell you a name. I couldn't describe a face. I just couldn't be bothered, even if they had to be at my terminal. I'd just make an annoyed noise and go to lunch.
And I love the idea of him telling Varlo this, and Varlo being like, what do you mean you don't remember their face or their name? Because like that's all Varlo does all day, every day.
Yeah, so, Varlo's like a catalog of names and faces. He is like memorizing names and faces that don't matter, like at the bar, that we'll never see again and don't matter for anything. He's like cataloging their faces.
Okay, well let me ask you this: what does the person who maintains your garbage disposal system back at your home, what's his name and what does he look like?
Well, home's a bit of a transient, you know. That's a not exactly a very specific location for me, but I can tell you the maintenance guy at the last place I lived at for very long like Varlo goes off to list you like his facial hair and his eye color and like Varlo has like a weirdly accurate or weirdly detailed. You don't know if it's true or not, but he's giving you like this very detailed description of like a maintenance guy from like like a year ago when he actually had a fixed location he was living.
Well, what about the guy who fueled up the speeder? I literally couldn't tell you what color coveralls he was wearing.
I mean, he had
Like,
the logo from that, and then Varlo names a company like on his coveralls.
okay, maybe it's just me, but
I think it might be I think it's a me. I think I'm the weird one here. I think you're probably speaking to a more typical experience. I don't think most people care. I just
okay,
can't.
that's good.
I had just habitually can't not care that it's my job to this is my job. It's my job to pay attention to this stuff. I have to pay attention to this stuff.
Okay, well, that's good. Just so you know, I now have permanent anxiety about being remembered when we're doing like from this second onward, my paranoia is going to be dialed all the way up. So as long as you're willing to chill me out from time to time, and from time to time I mean like 4 times a day, then yeah. But now I'm kind of worried that everybody knows who the faceless blob is who
No,
brings me
don't
my
worry. It's
newspaper.
in my experience, trust me, you're more right than wrong. The amount of times that people have just not remembered my face, yeah,
Man,
I'd say your experience is more typical.
that's good. More right than wrong is not something that I'm used to. I work in technology. I am either all the way right or all the way wrong. I am ill
Mm.
accustomed to proportionate wrongness and rightness. So
Ah,
I'll trust you on this one, but just be aware that you may have to medicate me from time to time. No death sticks, please. That sounds
oh no,
awful.
those are very bad at regulation, at mood regulation. But yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't stress out too much about it. I'm the weird one here.
Okay, he sits like completely strapped in. I'll
Varlo's
relax.
doing all this while driving, by the way. Like Varlo is actively flying the speeder during this conversation because
And
he is the one with far and away the highest speeder. He's got like a 70 and 75 in hovercraft.
Chris Stand has a white knuckle grip on both of the
Are you in the middle?
armrests.
You're in the middle seat between me and
Yes,
Troy. Like Troy's on the one edge by the edge of the ship, and I'm in the driver's seat, and you're like in between the two of us,
like
not near an edge.
the two of you are moving with the turns and various things like that, and Chris Stand is just death grip straight
Just
up,
bumping into us each time we turn because you're
like
not
when
bracing.
like when the dentist chair goes back too far and you feel like you have to hold on to it, otherwise you'll fall out, which is ridiculous, but that always happens to me.
This is great. That's a great mental image right there. I can just picture it now. Just the like way overcautious in a way that's actively making it harder to roll with the turns.
So you guys are sailing through the skies of Coruscant, along with hundreds of other speeders at all like multiple levels throughout this massive planet-sized city, basically, that is the seat of Imperial power. You're here primarily to try to get in with some of these subcontractors that are involved with this construction. Now that you gave Ani the tip off from from Narkina 5, like what exactly they are building, she was able to get some more information and knows that the military can't be building this all themselves. So they've got to be subcontracting it to the private sector.
Do we
you know at
know
least
currently?
Say again?
Which I think you might have actually just been about to say. I was going to say, do we know which any of the contractors that we need to target, or is that the first thing we need to do is figure out like who to even target?
So you've got a handful of leads there. I think more in that they are potentials rather than definitely involved, right? So these are companies that historically have been involved in military construction. But whether they're actively involved in this effort or not is not known to Ani and her people at least. So you've got 3 hang on, actually you got a few at the top of the list. Give me just a second. Okay, so the 4 that you have some tip off on, I'll put in the chat here. Okay, so the Kavra Corporation, and you actually have a name of a contact there. I think this might have been something actually that Troy pulled from somebody's brain. Because I don't know how you would know it otherwise. So the Kavra Corporation is like general and military contractor. Cirrus agents, they provide personal security, private
That was
security.
The one that Ani gave us. Ani gave us that name.
Oh, did she? Okay.
The name of Muntrev Dovko from the Kavra Corporation.
Okay.
That was one of her tip-offs.
Got it. Sinilo Construction is, a large construction company with a lot of interests. And then Dalvos Fuels, where you actually filled up the speeder, is involved in a lot of like energy production, energy transfer, those kinds of things. There's obviously hundreds, probably thousands of other corporations involved. These are the ones that Ani was like, they're probably involved. At least one of these is probably involved in this massive construction.
Gotcha. So, Kristen, I like the idea of getting in as maintenance. We should probably consider multiple approaches, at least with the different organizations. Maybe one of them we try that. Another one we maybe we buddy up with some of the employees and try and get information, interpersonally. It's another avenue. I think we should probably try at least a couple of different approaches here, I think.
That's fine. I think we should save the maintenance with maintenance uniforms thing for one that we especially don't want to be seen messing about
or one
in.
that we know for certain is involved. Right now, we don't even know exactly who is necessarily involved.
And the larger the organization, the more likely they won't know their maintenance people. Like
What
if it's
what do you say to, at least initially, going and figuring out where the employees for these various companies tend to go and catch drinks or, after work, and try and maybe see if we can't overhear some things or strike up conversation with a few mildly intoxicated office workers and
mean, I can
at least hear what they're working on.
I can probably figure that out in a public network space, because I would just be looking at local social networking and where they're taking their hollow pictures, and where they tend to program company after work social gatherings. I never went to any of those things, but I know they happen all the time, especially at the end of the week. And so there's usually stuff on company message boards, and those aren't behind passwords, because there aren't really trade secrets to be held around, hey, let's all go for a picnic on Friday at 5:30. Yeah, I could figure that out. That wouldn't take long, and we'd have some ways to at least watch these people and see what they're like and what they do.
Yeah, and if we're lucky, maybe we catch a few grumbling about their work and maybe can overhear something here or there.
Oh, they'll all be grumbling about their work. I mean, it's Coruscant. Everybody's working, and work sucks. And so, all we have to do is, well, we being one of the two of you, if I start bitching about work, I'm going to say something awkward and memorable. You two can probably bitch about work in a more general, just one of the guys kind of ways.
More, yeah, we're probably more likely to be able to pull that off. Neither one of us is exactly the most smooth talking, and it's like looks over at Troy, who is definitely not the most of like a smooth talker himself.
Well, you don't have to be super smooth talking. You just it helps that you're not half the size of everybody they've ever met who's not a child.
Fair. Troy at least fits in swimmingly at the bars.
Cool. So yeah, Chris, and you can get on Helmfront, which is like their social media thing, and like create an account and then sign up to the closed group for the company, and figure out where they're having their end of week sort of celebration thing. That is definitely within Chris Stan's skill set. Go ahead and roll for me just to make sure we don't roll a fumble.
All right. What skill am I rolling?
Computer.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't bumble this abysmally.
Well, if I've got plenty of luck, if I do.
Good.
Nope, not abysmal. Let's see. That is a regular success.
Cool. Okay, so you do get these fake accounts. No suspicious activity at all. You find out gatherings for all four of the ones that you're interested in, and the bars that they are going to. You can, with that computer success as well, maybe like get a sense of what the company culture is for like attire at these things, because some of them will be like it's still in their work stuff, and like some will be like a little more dressed up and that sort of thing. So you'll give a little bit of a bonus to Troy and Varla as they go to infiltrate and chat with these folks. I imagined Kristan kind of maybe being at the speeder and like remoting in with Varlo via like a comms setup kind of
Mhm.
thing, so that if they need any tech support
Yeah,
in the moment, he can sort of provide that. Is that how you guys run things, you reckon?
I think
Yeah,
so.
like he's like parked in a nearby lot or whatever the equivalent of
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
just kind of
like a
doing it.
spy movie, the dude in the van.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like our dude in the van who like is nearby in case we really need intervention.
Yep.
And
Ideally, we don't need intervention, but just in case.
along with the information on a tire, um, I I point them towards the different companies like company commissary canteen kind of situations where they can get like the Coruscant equivalent of a Tervis tumbler with your company logo on it.
Nice. Yeah. 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 Totally.
And so just something that they can scuff up a little bit that looks like it goes to work every day.
Oh, right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, or like this is something that like even if we don't work at their company, because they probably wouldn't, they obviously don't know us. We were at some event with their company where they handed these out, and
Yeah.
so like we work for a
Cool.
company, we're affiliated with some other company that has done some business with them.
Right. Awesome.
Best if we have a name for that company, but yeah, something along that nature, like where we can plausibly claim to be tangentially affiliated with these people.
Cool. That sounds great. So, yeah. So, Varla, you and Troy are going to head in to the bar.
Yeah.
Are you going to do this in any particular order? Which company do you want to try to chat up first?
Let's see. So the ones that we were given potential contacts with was the Kavra Corporation. And that was the only one we had a specific contact within, correct?
Yep.
So probably not that one, since we already have a potential link to get like to be made there. So maybe start with Cirrus agents.
Cool. Okay, great. So you guys head to their usual social hangout. You got your comms all set up. So this is actually a private security firm, as you know. So as you're going up to the bar, you see there are a couple of goons that are like patting people down as they're going in. Seeing that, I think Troy definitely has weapons on him. Varlo, I think you've got your little holdout pistol thing,
Yeah,
which
Varlo's got a
you
holdout.
might be able to conceal from these guys because you're pretty good at it, but it'll definitely be a check. Troy, there's no way Troy's getting in there with his guns.
I'm trying to think of Troy's disposition towards surrendering. Would it be like a check your guns at the door kind of situation, or like a you need to go home and leave that at home?
Yeah, you need to go home and leave that at home.
Gotcha. It's not like they're gonna hold it for you. They're gonna say
Nope.
no, you're not coming.
Yeah, it's
right, so
yeah, exactly. It's like if you go to a nice bar or something with like a security detail.
Yeah. So Varlo seeing that will like hold up Troy and be like, I think we need to probably go back and leave these at home. Any kind of gestures towards his holdout.
Cool.
Leave these. We should probably leave these in the care of our friend back at the speeder.
Yeah, Troy's like, yeah, I reckon.
Doesn't make me comfortable, but it's not good for first impressions if we get thrown out trying to bring something in.
Cool. You guys head back to the speeder. Are you going to dump your holdout blaster as well then?
Yeah, I'll get rid of the holdout because or actually, how confident does Varlo think, like how confident is he in his ability to hide that thing?
I mean, you've definitely smuggled it into lots of places you should not have been able to get into.
Gotcha. Would this be like a stealth or
exactly? This is going to be a stealth check, and I think because did I give you any stats on the
You
stealth
did
of this
or
thing?
on the stealth of this. Oh,
I thought I gave some concealment stats or something like that.
yeah. Let me look it up because I know you. I know you sent the detail. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, conceal hard success. So they would need to um beat. So basically, if you got a regular success, they would have to get an extreme success. If you failed, they would have to get a hard success.
Got it. Okay. Varla will keep his. He's like Troy's are like big and obvious,
Yeah.
right? So he's like, yeah, you should probably those just in case. I don't think they'll find this. I don't think they'll find mine. So I'm gonna keep it just in case. But I would be very surprised if they were able to pick this up.
Cool. Although actually Troy's holdout blaster would be fine as
Does
well.
he have, yeah, he has a holdout as well. He just has to surrender his like big main.
Yep.
His big blaster.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Because yeah, Troy does. I forgot Troy also has a holdout in addition to his main.
Yep.
To his main ones.
Okay, great. So give me a stealth check for Troy first.
All right, for Troy. Let me pull up. Okay, so Troy's stealth is. Oh, Troy's stealth is not great.
Nope.
All right. Oh, he's close enough that I'm gonna say he probably should use luck for that. It's real close. It's his stealth is a 27, and that was a 35.
Oh yeah.
So that's
even if he fails, they would need a hard success to even find the blaster.
That's true. But if he succeeds, that's like an extreme success. Right. To find it.
Yep.
I think it's probably worthwhile to.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think, Ben? Or how do we want to rule? I forget how we talked about using luck when it's not, when you're, for someone who's not here. I forget what our ruling on that was.
Well, it is Ken, and so he's pretty liberal with his luck, but I'd say I wouldn't be comfortable using more than a few luck points.
Yeah,
on his
it would be 8 points of luck to hit this.
That's on the outside edge of what I'd be comfortable with, because I think I'd want it to be the amount that would be rolled back. I mean, I'd almost prefer to push rather than.
His target is a 27.
Ooh.
That's why I'm like, maybe his stealth is 27 and he rolled and I rolled a 35.
Yeah, push would be not a great call with that low value.
Then for this purpose, let's go ahead and do it. I think.
And yeah, we can check with Ken, and if he's like less, thrilled on that, we can just pull it out of my luck pool or something.
I think Troy likes having guns on him. I mean, I definitely think that
Troy does like
on
not
the side
being
of can have
armed.
guns, do have guns.
And our request from Ken was not to kill him, and so if
that's true,
if guns are found on him, then the chances of that becomes significant.
Higher.
Even if it's small, it's higher.
Yeah.
So,
so I'm gonna say spend the 8 points of luck for Troy. I mean, Troy also has 41 luck right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely saves that stuff up.
8 of his 41 luck. It should be okay.
Cool. Okay, so you got a regular success. Go ahead and roll for
regular success. Barlow got a. Where is why is this so hard to find? Regular success.
Cool. You guys go up, the goons pat you down, don't have any problem with you, and you head on in.
Cool.
This bar is a very nice upscale kind of place. 2 bars here, tables arrayed around. With Kristan's research, basically it's like everyone goes home after work and then like gussies themselves up and then comes out for social time. So you guys are dressed pretty nicely. Fortunately, you got those the attire for the high level kind of interactions. So you are all set there.
Looking clean.
Yep, Varlo, this is, you know, definitely your element. Troy is probably not feeling super comfy, I would say, with this.
Yeah, this isn't Troy's kind of bar.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Now, I mean, there are definitely people doing drugs here, so Troy is probably going to find them.
That sounds very plausible. Like,
and actually,
Varlo and Troy probably would go their separate ways in here,
Yeah.
and like Varlo's gonna go talk with the like fancy snooty people,
right.
and Troy's probably gonna go find the guys doing drugs in the bathroom.
Yeah. Ben, do you want to play Troy actually for this scene since Chris Stand isn't doing too much?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, that would be good rather than having me do both of them.
Yeah.
That's fine. I got it.
Yeah, can you forward Ben?
It should be.
I've got it
Are you
open.
in that email?
Oh, great.
I've got it open.
He sent an email. He included it in an email.
Yeah, I've got it open.
Okay, great. So yeah, so Varlo, what's your general strategy here? You know, again, these people all for the most part know each other. Obviously, it's not a company only party, right? So other people can come in. But for the most part, everyone's like, you know, catching up about work stuff.
Varlo's going to go in and he's basically going to kind of linger at the outskirts of conversation for a little bit, wait till everyone gets a little bit of liquor in them, then sort of kind of ease his way into conversation with them. He wants to kind of, again, wait until they're already a little ways into their night before he tries to just kind of dive headfirst in.
Okay.
Only after kind of lingering at the outskirts of conversation before he finally kind of joins.
Okay, cool.
So he's kind of taking a slow approach.
Awesome. Go and
he'll be like nursing a drink the whole time, you know.
Nice. Go and roll persuasion with advantage.
Ooh,
and then Ben, what's Troy's take going to be here?
Well, Troy likes to have a good time, and so he is going to jump right into the drinking and the not almost illicit activities, and it's going to join into like the Coruscant equivalent of a darts game or something, cool. and be cheering the people who are playing and stuff like that, and just total guy time where nobody really introduces themselves. You have your momentary temporary friends,
right.
And
totally.
And so he's waiting for an opportunity.
Cool. Go ahead and do a persuasion with advantage then.
Okay.
How'd Varlo do?
Not a success from Varlo.
Not a success. Do you want to push this?
Oh, is this I guess the question is this the kind of social flub that Varlo could like come back later and try again without it being super awkward? Or is that sort of what the push would be, is him like coming back and...
Yeah, I think so. Depending on what your take, you know, what your approach to push this is going to be, the consequence for failure is probably going to be you get thrown out of the bar.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking of. My thinking is more of like, if I take the fail, is there an opportunity for another chance later in a different manner, rather than trying to push this and force it in that here?
Yeah, I think that this is basically going to be the role for this encounter.
That's kind of what I figured. Yeah.
Yep. You could come back in the future potentially.
Yeah. So I might as well go ahead and just try and push this.
Cool. How is Varlo pushing this then?
Let's see. Varlo is going to attempt to, based on some, you know, prep discussions with Chris Stand about, you know, like their company culture and like other, you know, firms they might have worked with, is going to attempt to drop a name, to like name drop, with the risk that he might say something that like gives away that he is bluffing.
Awesome.
So yeah, we're gonna try this.
Cool. You're still rolling with advantage then.
Cool. Oh my gosh, that was so close. The first one, I can't spend luck on this if I'm pushing right.
Right.
Oh, so close. I need a 30, and that was a 32.
Oh, man.
So I still got my advantage when it's the tens position. So a 22. Oh, thank goodness.
Holy shit.
I was like, man, it's gonna be real hard to get better than the 32. But yeah, I rolled a 20 the second time.
Nice.
Yes. Oh gosh. My
Outstanding.
initial roll, by the way, was like a 72 or 76
Oof.
or something. It was something really abominable.
Brutal.
No, it was 72 because I rolled 72 and I re-rolled the tens and I got another 7.
Ah,
So yeah. Good.
crazy. Okay. So yeah, Varlo, you drop a name and that kind of gets you into a little group, kind of trio of 2 guys and a woman talking about things. You're kind of in there chit-chatting with them. And eventually get to everyone else kind of heads off and eventually get chatting to this one fellow, Elnid Tarlik. How are you introducing yourself, by the way?
Did we have Varlo's gonna just give some completely fake name.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it's not his real name.
Okay, you had not like established any like solid covers, so okay, just
yeah,
introduce random name, which he has like hundreds of, so he just pulls one out.
Yeah, he's just gonna pull a random name out of the hat, you know, and
cool.
Give it to this guy.
Yeah, so you and Elnid kind of chit chat a little bit. It seems like Elnid is, you know, one of the security like bodyguard sorts of fellows in this office, so not like necessarily high up in the organization, but you know, knows some people, does some jobs, you know, used to take some jobs like protecting some of the senators. After the Senate got disbanded, every now and then he'll, you know, work for taking private jobs, you know, protecting certain big wigs. And when people visit Coruscant, you know, especially sometimes like the really rich tourists are like freaked out, like, oh, there might be crime, and then they hire him. So yeah, it seems like, you know, he seems like he's pretty cool dude, like knows his business. You're chit-chatting him, you've you know, met enough people like this throughout the galaxy that your impression of Elnid is that you know, he seems like just like a working man, you know, not too complicated.
Cool. With that, I think Varlo is basically angling to just sort of hold the conversation, get as much just about this guy, just kind of interpersonally with this guy as he can, just learning, you know, his old odd jobs and whatnot, and if this guy has any like grievances or like or any tales of like, oh yeah, this person was awful to work for, you know, like that kind of like thing, Varlo's gonna kind of angle towards getting some of like hearing some of those stories about like, oh yeah, this senator was terrible to work for, or like and basically trying to angle that eventually into like comparison of like that with what he's doing now with this current with Cirrus agents, whether it's better or worse or any of that kind of deal.
Cool. Okay, Troy Troy on that hard success yeah, finds the back room where the poker game is happening, basically, or the Sebak game, realistically. So yeah, Troy just fully wandering around, like just, you know, goes through doors and talks his way through things, and yeah, gets himself into the back room with the Sebak game. You know, light drugs being passed around. He's definitely in his element. Found the kind of, you know, grittier underbelly of this nice, you know, high society, rich security firm. And eventually is sitting next to this fellow who introduces himself as Nalid Woltak. And Nalid is one of the executives of Cirrus agents. So he's you know, started off as a regular security guy, rapidly went into administration, and now he's, you know, not a senior executive, but, you know, up there in terms of the hierarchy, you know, working his way up. He's you know, older guy, probably in his 50s, black hair with a streak of white. And you know, he seems like a pretty straight shooter. He grumbles like, you know, kids these days, they don't know how to work hard. You know, when I was growing up, we all had to go through the military and we had to take our licks, and these kids just like come up and they go on security detail and they don't know what they're doing, and you know, this kind of thing. And I imagine Troy is giving it like right back to
Yeah,
him.
Troy, when he starts in that direction, Troy's like, "Oh, don't even get me started on these new hires in security. This kid on my shift 2 days ago, he left the key card on the top of the reader. He left the key card on the top of the reader, and he was over staring at his comm unit playing this little game that he'd bounce around like a wampa, and it's like angry wampa,
Oh my God.
and I can't get him to look up from angry wampa to notice somebody walking in through the door. It's crazy. It's just what happened? What happened? We used to have standards.
Yeah, you and Naled hit it off, and as the game in the evening is kind of winding down, he's like, "Hey, Troy, you know, me and some of the other guys, we do a private game once a month. I'd love to have you come by. I think I heard you mention some special things you might be able to contribute, and we'd certainly love to have that added to the experience. So here's the address and the day and time." He hands you a little chip
Nice.
with the info.
And as far as Troy's playing at the game, he has been cheerfully on the slightly losing side of things,
Okay.
and has been playing the loser to perfection, and so just not so bad that he clearly doesn't know what's going on, but
Yeah.
this guy is a steady stream of money to the other parts of the table, and so normally this would be the setup for a later higher stakes game where you just skin them.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
in this case, he's going to just cheerfully like walk away with 10% less than he started with, and just be having a good time.
Awesome.
So
it's a good way to get yourself invited to the table, to the future table.
Oh,
yeah. Cool. Okay, so yeah, Varla, you make acquaintance with Elnid, who is like, "Yeah, you know, it's good talking to you, buddy, and you know, we'll be here next week if you're around."
Sounds good. See you next week.
The two of you head off and meet back up with Christand and report back and trade news.
Sounds like Troy, you
yeah.
got into some good connections there.
Oh, we'll find out how good, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and I give the name along with the information I heard about his job to Christand, so that
Oh, cool.
that he can cross reference and maybe use that, maybe even at some point attempt to hack in using his login credentials.
Yeah.
Since we know the name and his job, then he can probably,
and some personal details, like, you know,
he may have enough to deal with the password reset hint.
Yeah. Cool. Go ahead and give me a computer check for Christand.
Cool. Ooh. Okay, let me see. That is just barely a hard success.
Nice.
Hey, nice.
So with that intel, you are able to get a little more information in another layer of security, I guess, of the company, not like to their, you know, core drive or anything, but you're at least able to get the org chart So you know that Naled is a junior executive in the organization. So there's like, there's like 3 senior VPs and then like 8 junior executives, and he's one of the junior executives. You find that Cirrus agents have a personnel roster of about 8,000 security detail people. So the whole company is larger than that, but the actual like security detail people is about 8,000. They're dispersed all over the galaxy. Definitely a concentration here in Coruscant, but it looks like they're assigned all over the place. On that hard success, I think that you are able to figure out that where there are heavy military presences, it seems like the Cirrus agents do not have a presence there. So it looks like they don't seem to interface with the military in terms of like providing security for the military. It looks like they're purely civilian protection. Along those lines, some of their clients, most of them seem to be like, for lack of a better word, like noble houses, like just like generational wealth sorts of people. There's a number of like CEOs of a variety of companies. None of the other companies on the list that you have seem to have any relationship with Cirrus agents. What else do you want to know?
Given the access to his stuff, can I see some purchase orders? Like if we ended up needing to be maintenance at this organization, would I know which company services them?
Oh, I see.
Like who to impersonate.
No, you're able to find out information about like clients and personnel and those kinds of things. But like real nitty-gritty stuff like that is not readily available at this level.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, that would be like internal memos and like someone in ordering or something like that. Like the access that you get from Naled is high level kind of things.
Yeah, it's a little higher
It's
up
not the
than
nitty gritty details.
Yeah, right. It's like, where to disperse, where to dispatch people, who are we hiring, where are we allocating assets, like the strategic sorts of things.
All right. Let's see. How about with that org chart, can I see the names of some like sub cabinet management from a good ways off planet that we could use as we got this work order from so and so on such and such planet,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and it patched through him so he could come in here and fix your phones or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, there's like, HR, maintenance, building security, like all those different departments. So you can definitely grab those names. And let's do actually give me a luck check.
okay.
You are trying to get under your luck. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, significantly. I rolled a 5.
Holy shit.
Hey.
So as it turns out, their maintenance team, because the office costs are so low, their maintenance team is on some like outer rim backwater planet clear on the other side of the galaxy. So they never actually meet the maintenance manager. Like they just do all of this stuff by digital communication. So you peg that person and you're like, oh yeah, if we say something's coming from them, like the verification for that is going to take so long, we'll be in and out.
Cool. Okay, well then then that is a definite
Good to
way
know.
in there.
All right, I think we've got some pretty good intel on at least a good head start with these guys. I'm not sure if they're actually who we need to care about, but should we need to care about them, I think we've got a pretty good avenue.
Your sound just went down for me, Sam.
Mine? It
Yep.
might be that I just got far away from my mic. Is it still weird or am I
It's a little bit quiet. It's better though.
wonder if I hold on.
Ben, are you noticing?
I'm hearing a little dampening.
Odd, I'm not sure. Oh wait, hold on. No, it seems normal over there. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Hang on one second. Let me try this real quick. Okay, how am I now? Is this any different or is this the same?
It's about the same for me. I can hear you, but I have fairly heavy duty headphones on, so
I'm not
I
sure
think
what
it may.
changed.
See, I can't hear anything now.
Oh, weird. Hang
Or
on.
very, very quiet.
That's it, right? That's it. I'm just like, I just restarted voice meter just to be sure. That's what I was doing just there. I mean, I can turn myself up. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just do that for now. Normally this is the like blow other people's eardrums out level.
Oh, weird.
But yeah, I normally have my mic turned down several notches.
Right.
Um,
Is that okay for you,
reason.
Ben? It's not too
Yeah,
loud?
yeah, it's
Okay.
good.
Cool.
Okay, cool. That's fine. It's easy to adjust. I just got to remember to do it.
Okay, so yeah, you get a fair amount of good intel there. Anything else you want on that hard success, Kristan, like strategic level stuff from the agents?
Uh, not anything else because I've established a way in, and because we're not 100% sure until we're actually mucking around in their system what we'll need.
Yeah.
So
You can actually if you guys are all like kind of working on this together, everyone give me an investigation check.
Sure. Oh, did I actually pass that? Holy moly, I passed. I rolled exactly my score.
Nice.
and regular success for Chris Stand. Fortunately, investigation's a 76, and I rolled a 68, and so this is what
You
he's
want to
good
roll
at.
for Troy, or you want me to roll for Troy?
I can roll for Troy.
Troy's got a 22.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Nope, 55.
And don't forget to tick the skills that Troy is using, just so we can.
Yeah, so he's used persuasion and investigation so far,
and stealth
and stealth. Yes, from sneaking the blaster in.
Cool. Okay, so Kristan, you and Varlo kind of put your heads together, looking at where the Cirrus agents have deployed their security forces. You're suspicious that they are probably not involved in what you guys are researching.
Yeah, they seem to be avoiding all the military presence equals not their presence.
Right.
So that seems like
Yep.
Yeah, unlikely.
Which is not to say that someone somewhere doesn't know something, but it's going to be a slog to find that person. It doesn't seem
or
like
or they're not likely to be heavily involved,
right,
at the very least.
Yep, exactly.
Which is what we're after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, then we can bank this goodwill for if we need it.
Yeah. Troy, are you going to go to that private Sabak game?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Cool. And then, yeah, Varlo, you gonna follow up any more with?
And
Elmwood?
Varlo will probably come back to this bar one more time, like
Okay.
the one like following time that next week,
Yep.
but probably not unless something radically changes. He's probably not coming back subsequent weeks beyond that.
Cool. Okay, great. So yeah, you guys got that inroad with the Cirrus agents, figure out that probably they don't know anything like obvious anyways.
Yeah. And
okay, what's the
other
next step?
so I think probably next would be to kind of try and, since this one's probably crossed off the list at this point, for at least for, you know, preliminarily, we should take a look at either Sanillo Construction or the Copper Corporation, or maybe Dalvos Fuels. Dalvos Fuels seems like they're very plausibly involved, but that doesn't seem like the kind of corporation who's helping build anything. So while they could probably get us some connections somewhere up the chain for the sake of connections, I doubt would learn much about the project itself by looking into anything with Dalvos. So my inclination is to take a look at either Sanillo Construction or the Copper Corporation. Any thoughts?
I mean, where we follow is somewhat arbitrary to me because we're going to need to check out everybody. So we
That's
can go
true.
in whatever order.
All right, let's go ahead and head to the check out Sanillo. Since we that's the other one, like, that we don't really have we have our connection at Cover, we don't have any connection at all at Sanillo. So I think probably a similar tack to them, like trying to find an after work hangout, since we have no existing contact with them. Probably a good bet, like a similar kind of approach. Whereas with Cover, we can just, approach our known contact.
Cool. Yeah, so Christan kind of digging through what was it, Helmfront, the social media thing. So for Sanillo, it seems like each of their construction sites on Coruscant has their own kind of meetup at the end of the week, and it looks like it's primarily like the actual people doing construction. You can't find any social activities for like the central office folks, or like executive level or those kinds of things. As far as you can tell, it's all like just each site has their own kind of meetups. But I mean, if you gave it a longer period of time, you might be able to find like a holiday party or something like that. But at least right now, the regular meetups are on site.
Hey, Kristen, how can you maybe try and investigate and find out how high their turnover rate is? Because if we needed to just, join a crew for a couple of days.
What do we imagine like stockholder information might look like? Do you think it's public like it is in like the US and Japan and places like that? Okay,
Yeah.
so then I can find out at least turnover percentages. I probably couldn't tell you like departments or anything like that. I can tell you top sheet information, I'd
That's
bet.
right. Barlow's basically trying to figure out, like, is it weird if someone shows up, works for a couple days, and then they'd be like, nope, not for me, and then bounces.
Cool.
Like,
go ahead and do investigation.
Is that out of place? Because if so, he will. If it's not, then he'll totally like join the construction crew for 2-3 days, get in on one of their meetups, and then just be like, nah, I don't like this job, and leave.
So with a 76 in investigation, I rolled a 74, so regular success.
Okay, well, we take those. We take those.
You'll take it. Yeah.
Yep.
So browsing the job listings, which are public and easily accessible, looking, back the past 3 months, you see like, building engineer 1 listed, and then like that same building engineer 1 listed for that same site, like, 2 or 3 or 4 months later. So it does seem like they have a pretty substantial turnover. um Whether someone showing up for 2 days it wouldn't be okay. Like 2 days is weird for a short, for a job of construction type stuff, at least skilled labor. But
Yeah.
yeah, Varlo, you've done gigs like this before, posing as manual labor for jobs like this. So it seems like from what Christian can find, that would not be abnormal for you to just like walk onto the job and be like, hey, they hired me. And if you disappeared a couple days later, no one would remember who you were.
Yeah, so not like a skilled position, but like the manual labor, like no one's gonna bat an eye if the manual labor doesn't stay for a long period of time. But like a skilled position, it'd be weird if they
Right.
left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe I can do you one better. So if we see the current like open jobs, especially if they open a lot, then maybe there's a temp agency that if Varlo walks into and says this is the thing I do, and just as specific as possible to the needs of this particular deal, then maybe
Oh, like trying to
maybe what
actually land the job
yeah,
of
as a
one of those
temp, as
engineering.
like a 2-3 day temps, and I can do
So you give
some
me
like
the resume that I need
well, I
to
can make
do.
the resume that you need, and I can also potentially like exclude other search results when she types it into the computer.
Yeah,
To
that
like try and
definitely,
make sure I
Christian,
match
you would
up.
have no problem getting into a temp agency's computer and like rigging the search for it.
And so if a temp bugs out, then they just get mad at the temp agency,
Sure.
and so a false identity with the temp agency would probably be not too uncommon, since that's probably how like convicts and other assorted ne'er do wells end up getting their hand to mouth money.
Yeah, that's fine. Varlo's down for that. He's not thrilled about working a manual job for a long period of time, but yeah, whatever we can get me in through that temp agency just to kind of connect in and see what we can learn, he'll do it.
Cool. Go ahead and do computer check, Christian.
All right.
And I'm definitely not. Is this we're going in for me getting like a manual labor level position, or were we trying to tailor it to get the like one of the regularly opening like other level positions?
Okay, so computers to 76 rolled an 80, and so I'm going to use 4 points of luck
Cool.
to make it a regular success,
Okay,
which I did.
great. And then yeah, what do you want to rig up for the search to kind of find when Varlo goes in? Like what kind of gig?
Yeah, are we getting me at like ground level grunt work, manual labor, or are we trying to go for one of those, every couple of months rotating engineering jobs?
So I think it's the middle level engineering, because the work you'll be doing is like I'm not looking for something that you have to walk on and have the skills to know how to do. Like the results of the next step up would be stuff that you do on your own, and the results of which would be seen in like weekly reports and stuff like that. And so by the time anybody notices that you haven't done much, you're already gone.
So an
Okay.
office job though?
Well, I
Like an
mean, maybe like so like with that engineer job, he'd be working in a scrum or something like that, and so
like a
his
low level
yeah,
but off actual office job.
yeah, and so he would be prepping like the designs for a little fix on something in like a common system. And so he'd be engineering something that's inefficient in an air duct or something like that. And so all he really has is people in his scrum popping by and sharing their work, and so as long as he looks reasonably busy and says I'm right on top of that, I'll have it for you. I'll have it
Yeah,
for
and he
you
could stay for like
Thursday.
a week or two or whatever. I don't know how long. I don't know what the time scale we're planning on staying on Coruscant is.
I don't think that Ani gave any restriction. It's that her impression is that, if they're building another Death Star, it's going to take them a while. So it's
Yeah.
not like a high rush, but obviously, sooner is better than later.
Yeah. So he could definitely like sit at one of these, jobs and fake it till you make it, kind of, bluff my way it through for like a week or two before he just like suddenly stops showing up for work unexplainedly or something, if assuming we can get whatever information we need in that span of time.
And what Chris Stan can do, since he doesn't have anything to do, he is going to he's going to like upload Varlo's work from some other team working on something similar, and so like the day to day that comes out of his office is like legitimate,
Plausible.
if a little like disconnected, because we don't have the full like, until it's finalized, it's not. But like the purchase orders look straight up.
Cool.
He's sending out update emails.
Nice.
He's like at work, and
yeah, just basically covering
sitting
for
there.
him.
Yeah, basically.
Awesome. The plan goes
Yeah.
fine. Chris
Yeah, I'm totally down with this.
gets you the job. You get this kind of low level engineering thing where the expectations aren't super high. Chris Stan funnels you things to submit, official reports so that your cover is maintained. What's Varlo doing now? So you're in the company building.
He's just got time at work because he's not. I mean, he's at his desk presumably enough to pass for doing his job.
Right.
But he's definitely, as much since he's not having to focus on the work, since he's not really doing the work, his attention while he's at work is on eavesdropping on coworkers, covertly scoping out the building or any other kind of physical information gathering of that nature. Anywhere that he could plausibly be expected to be, or not even expected to be, but not hey, get out of here, what are you doing here?
Right.
Anywhere that he might accidentally wander into and not be a real problem, he's gonna wander around on his lunch breaks and whatnot.
Cool.
He's gonna just kind of snoop around the place as much as he can without drawing too much attention.
Okay, love it. First, give me a stealth check.
Is that a hard success? That is a hard success.
Nice.
Hey.
And then give me a perception check.
Ooh, these are. What's my? Oh no, my perception's great. This is not. I was thinking I was the other guy. I was thinking my character from our other game who has garbage perception.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, his perception's great. Okay, I rolled awful, but I passed.
Awesome.
That was a
what did you
72 for a standard success.
Cool. I will say to you, if you want to push this, that could be tremendously valuable for you. And
I will push this. I will push this because odds are my perception score is an 80.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll push this.
How are you pushing this?
Maybe one of those places that he wasn't super supposed to be and got told hey, you shouldn't really be here. It's not a problem that you're here, but you really shouldn't be here. He goes back there again later.
Okay.
And hopes he doesn't get noticed, where
Cool.
It's going to be actually a problem if they're we told you no, you're not supposed to be here.
Awesome.
That's sort of what I'm thinking of this. Oh no, it's still standard. Didn't get any better. Dang.
Cool. Okay, so here's what you get. You get some good stuff. You hear some water cooler chit chat / gossip about how people are being shuffled around a lot recently, and it's really like depleting a lot of the departments. They're not having the staff that they need. A lot of people are being sent off world for like short-term jobs. Like things are not business as usual, and people are unhappy about it. That's the one thing that you get. The second thing that you get is kind of rummaging through some, like file sorts of things in, an office that you probably shouldn't have been in, but nobody noticed you slip through the door. Just kind of scanning things casually, not with Chris Stan's level of expertise at all, but just like getting a sense of things. It looks like there's quite a large a couple of large projects that they've been working on the past 6 to 9 months that ramped up very quickly, which I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Varlo has any impression about that, but like there's a lot of like paperwork and like personnel and having to move resource and that kind of thing for some of these jobs. So yeah, I think both of those two things are a little bit suspicious in terms
Yeah,
of Varlo.
those
They're
seem
pointing
like
in a direction that you're kind of thinking like that might be useful.
I don't know what they're doing or what is going on, but this seems like a plausible, like this is a company we should probably investigate further.
Right.
Kind of deal.
Yep.
Yeah. So Varlo's not gonna push his luck any more than that. He's not gonna, get himself fired or
okay.
Truly in trouble.
Cool.
Snooping around places he's not supposed to go. So that's kind of where he'll leave it in that time span.
Okay.
He would discuss like with the crew, like not during his work time, like if there's any further value in him remaining there, or if it's time for him after, maybe a week or two to like just skip out on the job.
Well, so Chris Stand with the information that Varlo is or at least the suspicious information, he can look for like subcontractor status for different corporations, and basically what he's looking for is if this company subcontracts for what he knows as one of the shell organizations that the Empire funnels like large amounts of funds through for like what we were talking about, like the second session of stuff that just functionally doesn't make sense in its description on the balance sheets of various discretionary funds. And so to see if he sees a name he recognizes from the accounting sheets.
Yeah, that would be tremendously useful. You're going to need to get that information out of the building somehow, which would either involve Chris Stand getting into the building or giving Varlo something that he could use to grab that information.
Could I give him a basic tutorial on how to plug in one of the VPN cards so that I could get like remote access to his terminal and be like in a remote terminal echo, but because he's got the VPN card in, it could be coming from anywhere except for standalone systems in.
Yeah, you could definitely rig up something like that. Right now, the cards as designed are not designed for remote operation, but with your know-how, you could definitely rig that up with some electronics rolls.
Well, and basically what I want him to do is have the card. Like he would be the one using the card. And then if he sends through the communicator it's like put in this input, type it exactly, tell me what numbers you see through the communicator, and
oh, I see. So not taking over his terminal where you could see it, but talking him through it.
Well, talking him through giving me remote access to it, like when if you do tech support and they.
Yep. So you would need to be on the internal network to do that.
Okay.
Unless you rig up your VPN for remote access, where you could like wire into the card that he sticks in then.
Well, then I would like to try to modify one of those cards then, because that would be an extremely useful and low risk. And
so if I can assist in this in terms of like giving him like basically assist on the roll by providing him any sort of insight into their specific computer systems that he could use to tailor this to work on their system.
Varlo, why don't you roll your electronics first?
All right. My electronics is not good, but it's possible. Not with a roll of a 91, though.
Ooh.
So Carlo's trying to help.
Yep. It's a little beyond your technical expertise. And then Kristan, go ahead and roll your electronics.
Okay. All right, let's see.
Yeah, my electronics is
20. that is a hard success.
Okay, cool. That is what you needed. So you're able to rig this up sufficiently. So I will tell you the abilities and limitations. So the abilities are you can, like you said, like remote access now Varlo's terminal, and then from there get in and get some mid-level systems. Because of the delay time in the transmission, if you try going and getting anything that's particularly secure, you'll be rolling with disadvantage for things. Getting accounting stuff is going to be not a problem for you at all.
Yeah, that's really all I want with this. Cool. I just want to see if these shell companies that I saw during my initial phishing.
Yep. And this will burn one of your VPNs.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So will that be another computer roll?
Another computer roll. Yep.
Okay. Give me just a second. I'm going to mark electronics first while I'm thinking about it.
Yep.
All right. So all right, that is a 42 to 76. I'm going to burn another 4 luck to make that a hard success and just
okay, amazing. Kristan, you're remoting and you're going through all of this. Give me an accounting check as well, actually. Sorry, I forgot about that. So you get all the information, so now you're trying to make sense of it.
Awesome. Hard success on accounting. 32 of 35 for hard success.
So
there we go.
Kristan, when you were originally figuring out there was a problem with where the money was going, it was all very like secondary and tertiary sorts of connections that you were making. It's like, like that's weird. Like, I don't understand.
It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, exactly. But you weren't able to find any like details or specifics. This thing, you get all the details and specifics that you knew were out there, but couldn't find. But you get exactly what you wanted to, which is you see sums of money coming from two sources within the empire. You see it coming from the Imperial Navy, and then you also see it coming directly from the Emperor. That his like
discretionary fund.
Yeah, his personal slush fund, security fund, is going, at least some of it is going through Sinillo. And then Sinillo is diverting a huge amount of resources to 3 construction sites relatively close to Coruscant here, where they're obviously building big pieces that are going to be put together. Looking at all the money, it's all making sense now. Like, you see that you were talking about subcontractors, like there's the subcontractor for like the hyperdrive engines, there's a subcontractor for like the structural steel bit. It also is now clicking together with what they were doing on Narkina 5, because there's like inputs that don't have any dollar value attached to them, and you're like, what the hell is this? Like, free stuff that doesn't, like they're getting the slave labor basically from the military. So yeah, it looks like Sinillo is absolutely involved in this project. And if you have any specific questions about where the money's going, let me know.
So the big thing I want to do right now is, while I'm seeing all of this, I keep hitting the commands to send pages to Bartleby's printer.
Cool.
And so that way we have this in like a stack of documents that if we hear more things, then I can start looking through what we've already
we want
printed
some
out.
actual record that we can reference here.
And so I'll note that as stolen accounting from Sinillo.
Yep.
And so once I've gotten the last of the information I want, I am going to run like my last thing before remotely unplugging the VPN is some subroutine that like takes down electricity for the day.
Nice.
And like would be enough to get everybody sent home,
right.
and wouldn't be like a major system problem, but would just be one of those things that's like, oh, we rebooted and this issue isn't even a thing, and by that time that will be a reason for Varlo not to come back to work.
Nice.
Is there any way that in that data that he gathered that he said it was 3 main construction sites? Did we find out where those were? Any like invoices going to those places?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, so you got some of the names of the places where the construction's happening. Rather more importantly, I can't remember if Ani was explicitly like, we need to find out the plans for, this thing that they're building. You didn't get any of that because that's not in all the financial records, right?
Sure, yeah.
But you were able to kind of piece together the threads for the people who would have basically the pass-through entity that the Empire is working through at Sinillo. You get that person's name. They're not the CEO, but they're executive vice president of special projects. And that is Ashiv Elos, who is working at one of those sites off planet, which I will also get you here in a second. So Ashiv is working on Blitz. Which is one of the main construction sites. The other two being Claste and Gutland. And you guys recognize all of these as being systems, again, relatively close to Coruscant. Yeah, just crack that nut wide open. I'm imagining Christan seeing like all this, like the evidence that finally confirms what he's been suspecting for months.
Yeah, for real.
Christan is probably excitedly like reading page after page of all of the, just flipping through everything he printed out, and like just in the corner, like, this is so great.
Yeah, Varlo, after, mission accomplished and, everybody gets sent home from whatever outage, Varlo just like quietly just doesn't show back up to work.
Yeah, awesome.
Following that.
Give me, just for giggles, give me a disguise check, Varlo.
Oh, my disguise is abominable.
I know.
Nah, not a chance.
Not a close? Okay.
My disguise is 12.
Yep.
And that was a 74.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, you guys got a ton of info. Senil is obviously building part of the Death Star 2. Ashiv Elos is the person at Senilu facilitating that, would probably have information about, the design specs and that sort of thing, or at least who, would have that information. He's currently working on Bletz, which is relatively close to Coruscant. Yeah, I think
good lead.
Good lead. I think we will call it there.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
Go ahead and roll everyone for luck.
Okay.
And again, if you roll over your luck, then you'll add a D10.
Nope.
I rolled over my luck because my luck is bad. Is it a D10?
I think so.
10. Hey, that's finally getting up there in luck.
Crazy. And then someone want to roll for Troy, Ben?
Sure.
Ironically, if my current luck score had been my luck score before, I would not have failed that check.
Okay, yes for Troy.
Nice.
And rolled a 9. So
hey.
Sam,
so we more than got back those points that we spent. We spent 8 and he got 9, so he's positive 1 on the day.
I feel better about that.
Yeah, that feels better. Yeah, leaving Troy +1 luck instead of down 8 luck.
Yeah, I don't like to use consumables for people whenever possible, but
yeah,
that time it wasn't possible. We needed that success.
Yep.
Yeah, luck.
And those 2 near hard successes that I was able to.
That was great. Being able to just like bump that down just a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I spent 8 total to turn 2 regular successes into crucial.
That's really good.
And so that I think is the best possible way to use that.
Yeah, that's such a good way to use
up
that.
A tier.
If I had any chance to do that with my perception stuff, I would have done that.
Oh yeah.
But I rolled my perception is 80 and I rolled like a 72. I'm like, I literally don't have enough luck to make this a hard success.
Well, and that's also one of the nice things about having Christan as a specialist character.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not really good at what he does.
Yeah, and I'm not going to have too many wild opportunities to do Troy kind of things and to, in an improvisatory moment try something odd. Like,
that's true.
Christan is risk averse and will stick to his.
I loved Christan white knuckling the chair in the
theater.
That was great. Varlo is very comfortable in
like
the
small child.
Yep. I also love using, like, I love the interplay with, like, Varlo's like the guy who goes in, and like does the thing, and
he's all about that. It's a shame his disguise is so bad, but I'm like, it's worth it. It's worth the unfortunate thing is that his disguise is really bad and his persuasion is not amazing.
But you have a really good chance to improve those at the
It's
end
true.
of this little mini
His-
mission.
His
And so
stealth and perception are stellar, and his insight and other things like his insight is pretty good. So he's good at like observing and gathering data. He's just not good at talking with people and gathering data that way. He's more the observational data gathering rather than the interpersonal data gathering.
have either of you seen the movie Munich?
Nope.
I don't think so.
So there's a so it's based on the covert response to the Munich killings by a terrorist cell in the late 70s, and so there, in like the first half an hour, there's a little scene where the members of this Mossad cell, they're meeting for the first time over dinner, and they're talking about the things they do. And there's one who others are talking about various military applications and stuff like that. And this one older gentleman says, "Well, what do you do?" "Oh, me? I worry." And later on, after the first assassination of this terrorist cell, the two guys who shot the terrorist are running away, and this older guy in his hat walks in, calmly picks up all of the gun casings, and then walks out of there with the clear evidence of what they've done. And so it's like, I worry. So
he's like the cleaner
just
going in
cool
behind and
as a
making sure
cucumber. He's
nothing's
just
left.
like, I worry about the things that you can't think about because you just shot somebody and your adrenaline is all jacked up. And so I kind of
That's
see
great.
Chris Stand as I am
The worry.
I'm away from the main action, but I am worried about these little tiny details that bother me. And in this particular case, a detail that bothered him was extremely useful. And so that was
that
fun.
was great. That was great. I like the tag teaming and the kind of splitting the job into component parts for different people, so everyone is like doing the thing that they're good at to give us the best odds of success. That was really solid.
Cool. Thanks for the game, you guys.
Yeah.
And I guess, think about what your next step is going to be, if you're going to go to that planet, if you're going to continue to stay on Coruscant and get some more intel on the other companies, or generally where your head's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll have to do some thinking on that.
Yep.
Well, and we may need to take
Confer
some
with
steps
Jen.
before we go there, because if we go there
That's
with
a good
no
point.
other information, then that
that's
seems
kinda
like
asking for trouble.
yeah, or asking for just a wasted trip. Like if we can't get in there and see anything useful, then it's potentially an opportunity that we've lost. And so
Cool.
All
right, thanks guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Yeah.